Hi everyone, it's Christy. Welcome back to another episode of Junk Journal January 2025. Today we're up to day 27, and the prompt for today is crumpled. Now, if you were watching, I did on day 20, the prompt was tissue. And I did some crumpled tissue paper that I glued onto some 3x5 note cards to give you some wonderful textures. And they're very velvety to the touch. So if you want to, I'll try to remember to link that below in case you want to go back and pick up that one and see what I did with that. But we have a new prompt for crumpled, so I've got to crumple something else. So I grabbed a book page and I thought, why not? Why not? Let's just crumple this baby up. Okay? You know, it's just paper. It's just paper. Mess it up. Come on. You know, I've been kind of having some conversations with some of you in the comments, and one of the things I've been thinking about lately is that one of the reasons why we spin our wheels and overthink our crafts is because we spent money on them, right? Well, maybe your hang up is that because you spent money on it, you don't want to mess it up. So why not mess around with stuff like junk mail, you know? Junk mail, book pages. You can go to the secondhand store and buy a book, you know, for 25 cents probably. You got 300 pages in there. Then you don't feel bad if you crumple it up. You don't feel bad if you make something so ugly that you feel like you have to throw it away, okay? Then that opens up your freedom. That opens up your ability to say, I'm going to just make something and see what happens. That is true freedom. And it costs you basically nothing. You have free craft supplies delivered to your door daily in the form of junk mail. The cardstock things that you get in the mail, the envelopes, pictures in magazines or catalogs. In fact, I'm using a catalog page right now out of a catalog that came in the mail. I'm just going to use it for inking and gluing. Let me grab my daubers. I grabbed the ink pads, but not the daubers. So we crumpled this up really good. It's got lots of texture to it, but you can't probably see it very much with the lighting. So I'm going to amplify the texture with some ink here. And this is hopefully just, let's see if I have, you know what, that's kind of dry. Let me moisten my ink pad a little bit. You know, your ink pad doesn't always run out of ink. Sometimes it just gets dried out from, you know, just the air dries it out, and the ink is still there. You just need to add some moisture back to it, and that will make it come alive. It's alive. Look at that, getting some nice texture. So I'm going up and down here first of all. It picks up quite a few. But then if you go left to right, right to left, you pick up different little crinkles in the paper. It's like there's north-south ones and east-west ones. So move your ink dauber around and pick up different ones. And you know what? You could also, if you don't have a fancy dauber, you could always just take your stamp pad and run it over it. I might do that as a second example. But for now, whoops, knocking things over. My bad. Get that out of the way for the moment. I'm gonna ink it up, add some black to it, because that'll add a little bit different depth of tone, texture, change things up a little more. Look at it, it's changing right before your eyes, isn't it? I hope you can see that well enough. I should maybe zoom in a little bit closer for you. Get that. Look at that. All right. Kind of liking that. Let me bring it up here a little closer. You can see all the different, how just the crinkles pick up the ink on there and make it totally different. Close these up for a moment until I decide if I'm doing another one. Okay. Now, oh, why not? Let me grab another book page real quick before I do something with it. I'll just grab another one, crinkle it all up. Unfold it, and maybe do it a second time. When you crinkle something up, it's breaking down the fibers, and so you'll notice that the paper will feel softer, and it almost will begin to, it's not quite there yet, but it will begin to pick up the feeling like a piece of fabric, because it's losing its stiffness, it's losing, as the fibers break down, then the fibers just become flexible and it starts to feel like fabric, and it's totally fascinating. All right. I don't know if there's the one side that's better than the other, but this time, because I mentioned this, I'm going to do this. If you didn't have a dauber, you just take your stamp pad. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh. Just experiment, you know. You don't have to have a steady plan. You don't have to plan every detail of your crafting before you just get started. Look at that. That is awesome. I don't even know if I want to add another color to that, but we'll try. Do I want to add black? That one already came out very dark. Let me add something a little bit lighter, maybe. I'm going to add kind of a yellow tone to kind of yellow up the paper a little bit, and maybe we'll just see what kind of effect that gives us. Okay. All right, yeah. Wow. See, everything comes out so different. I could do this all day because it just, like, this one came out really more muted tones, and this one came out very vibrant by rubbing the ink pads directly on it. It's hard to maybe pick up as I'm looking through the camera. It's maybe harder to pick up the differences, but you can tell that this one has much stronger lines, and it's totally fascinating. All right. Well, we did one both ways, so let's do something with them now. Trying to think if I do I've got a couple ideas. I think what I'm going to do, let me grab my ruler. All right. This one I'm going to basically take off the margins, you know, and just tear it down to the size of the, oh, that tore. Just tear it down to the size of the text block on the page. I want to make it a little bit smaller because I'm going to glue this right to the page and use it kind of for a background, some nice texture. And I'm not getting a real clean tear on here, and that's because I've broken down the fibers like I was talking about. But that's okay, you're going to have some irregular edges, and that just is part of the charm, I think. So once you crumple it up, you're not going to have perfection in terms of tearing, but the torn look just makes it look old anyway, right? Okay, so I'm going to take this off of here for now. I think I'm going to glue that on there. I'm going to get some of this back out of the way. Alright, that's up, so let me grab another page. So I'm gonna just put some glue stick all over this. This is Scotch Create glue stick, but apparently they don't make it anymore. At least it's not readily available anymore. So use what you have, whatever glue stick you prefer. And probably the most important thing is to make sure you get it out to the edges. Try and then I use this glass bottle as a brayer just to press it down. Oh, I wish you could feel that. It's soft and silky now. Oh, so silky. So that gives you a nice little thing here. I'm going to take these note cards that we did set with the tissue, and I'll use the paper clip and just paper clip them on here. It kind of gives us some texture on texture. And now for my next trick, oops, I didn't get that paper clip all the way on there, did I? Alright, and then for my next trick, I'm gonna actually, I had some product packaging in, whoops, my previous episode. Where did I drop it? Had to pick that up. So this is a remaining piece of product packaging from one of the recent episodes that I did. And I'm going to, where did I put it? There. Here's the other one that we made. So I'm going to put this, glue it onto here. I cut this to 3x5, so it's the same as a 3x5 card. You don't have to use packaging. It can be, you know, just an index card. So I'm going to glue right over the writing on the packaging. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Hesitating between two different ideas of what I could do with this. Am I still in frame? Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, get my glue capped. And now, these are my new scissors that I got for Christmas. They're Fisker's non-stick scissors. So the blades have been coated with something. I'm not really sure what, but they definitely have a slickery feel. And they're non-stick so that crafters can use them to cut freshly glued places or places with tape, and it will not stick to your scissors. So you do not have to cut, you know, peel off all the little glue bits and ickies that come off of the glue and tape. Alright. So I just trimmed that down. I was debating when I first started this. I see there, I didn't get that quite trimmed up. Okay, I was debating when I was doing this whether I wanted to trim it or wrap it around, but I will go with the trimmed look this time. And there's a corner that I didn't get quite glued down well enough, so come in with a glue stick for a quick save. That happens. It happens, and that one's trying to come up, but it's not bad. Just a tiny little, there might have been a little air bubble in there or something where it didn't stick down. Alright. So now we have the back, and I think since I have all the stuff right here, I'm just going to ink it up a bit. want you to be thinking about, what do you have laying around the house that is basically free crafting supplies? You know, product packaging. We talked about that the other day. And this is a piece of cardstock, very substantial cardstock, in fact, because it was a box of crackers. Boxes, cereal boxes, things like that. Your junk mail, your, I don't know. You have to look around your own house. I'm not sure what you have. I'm gonna actually grab my brown again. And partly because this side is so inked up so lovely, and this side is stark white, I just feel like I want to kind of darken this a little bit. Knock back the brightness. And because I did that, I'm just going to add in some of the black, just so it'll be the same color scheme basically as what we used on the front. Okay, now we have that out of the way. Bring this back in. Now we have a number of things I could do with this, because it's a nice heavyweight cardstock. I could glue it in as a pocket and use it to stick nice things in here. We made that tuck the other day, and I'm just kind of looking a little bit. What is today? Did we say we're doing the 20? I have lost track. What number is today? Crumpled is 27. I could put it on here. It would block some of the elements I've already got there. Could do that. Ooh, actually, I kind of like that. Let's do that. Not bad. I fortunately had my Fabrifix glue already turned down so that the glue is drained to the tip. So I'm just going to make a U shape in around the edges. I'm going to have to break down and open up my new bottle. I have a new bottle of this. I'm trying to use, I just don't like to waste. So and that actually feels like it might be just kind of gummed up. Let me just clear the silicone will kind of see there's kind of a glue glob. I had it turned upside down, so some of the glue was draining out into the cap a little bit. Makes kind of a glue glob. And that's, I think, limiting my, if I can get that thing off my finger. It's like trying to get a booger off your finger, getting that silicone to turn loose. Sorry, that was gross. I probably shouldn't say things like that on video, huh? I forget there's classier people around than I am. Alright. That should be plenty. A little bit more right there. Alright. I kind of like that because it's got the little pink thing popping out of behind it. And there's my brayer. And I'm going to let that dry a moment before sticking anything in there. But this we made last time, so I can tuck that in there. I think it's fine. That's small enough that it's not going to touch into the glued area. All right, so today we did some crumpled paper and inked it up for texture so you can see the texture as well as feel the texture. And elements like this in your journal just gives such a nice tactile experience to the product that people can go in and enjoy feeling. And that is it for today. We had this crumpled tissue the other day, and now we got crumpled book pages. So thanks for joining me for day 27, Crumpled. I appreciate you taking the time to watch with me, and I will see you in the next episode. Love you. God bless you. Bye-bye.